lyrics is critical, lambs for the slaughter. 7-candle menorah, angelic flow, holy water. It's the Elohim regime, laser beam. I'm God to you Philistines. Once you go through a guillotine, you frontin'.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, though the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Verge of getting a nuclear weapon.
No, they weren't, 3 weeks ago when this started, and they weren't in June either. I mean, the Iranians have had a religious ruling, a fatwa, against actually developing a nuclear weapon since 2004. That's been in place since 2004. That's available in the public sphere. But then also we had no intelligence to indicate that fatwa was being disobeyed or it was on the cusp of being lifted. The Iranian strategy, it's actually pretty pragmatic. The Iranians are obviously aware of what's taking place in their region. And their strategy was to not completely abandon their nuclear program because they saw what happened to Muammar Gaddafi in Libya when he said, hey, I've got no more nukes. I'll do what you say. I'll give up my nukes.
And we gave him the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, we regime changed him, and he was executed by his own people in the most horrific way.
Call halal Yahweh, Bashem Yanshai, Bashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the other apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Shabbat Shalom to you of us that are hopeful. Shabbat Shalom to the elect. Let's open with this. Let's go to Jeremiah 50 and 45. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, 45th verse, because it says this. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yah meaning he, Yahweh meaning is in the Hebrew. He is meaning he exists, meaning he is the all in all that is in existence. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, speaking to America, which we know today to be biblical Babylon, the great land of confusion and abominations, I might add. America, aka Babylon, is interchangeable with Esau, Edom, who today is the so-called white man sitting in the global power seat, and really the white establishment. At the top is the international money changers of the world, the banking elite and the technocrats speaking to the economists, the scientists, the engineers, etc., that hold a power of influence over your government based on their quote-unquote specialized knowledge. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Well, for those of you not in the know, Esau and the Chaldeans are synonymous. The Chaldeans were known for their wisdom, their military strength, and most importantly for the practice of magic and idolatry. These same things that speak to America in its esteem today. No secret that your commander-in-chief is a Kabbalist, just like the vast majority of his financial supporters, if you can read between the lines. A lesser-known fact is after the 4th century, the term Chaldean started to carry the connotation of charlatan. A charlatan refers to persons falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill, basically frauds, just like your present-day technocrats who have cemented themselves in government based on their pseudo-science. Pseudo meaning false, bogus, phony, fake. Again, basically they're frauds. Long story median, remember, it was under the Chaldeans that Esau not only made sport but joined in the demise of the Israelites, being what the scriptures call spoiled as a nation, at a time when the Most High was bringing judgment on us for our not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. These same spirits have returned today. Okay. Surely the least of the flock, speaking to modern day Israel, affectionately known as the mini caps, the tiny tops, those same Kabbalists who are the chief house of Esau, Edom. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. For those not in the know, the gentleman on the screen is Joe Kent, former director of the NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center, the agency responsible for analyzing and coordinating U.S. counterterrorism intelligence. Okay. In layman terms, the job is to track, identify, and of course stop anyone planning violence against U.S. interests. The gist of the story is, as of March 17th, 2026, yesterday, if you're seeing this on the 18th, Joe Kent became the first official of high rank to resign from the Trump administration in protest of the ongoing Iran war. Now, in his letter of resignation, Kent said he could not in good conscience support the war and that Iran posed no imminent threat. Now, what stood out, hence bringing out Jeremiah 50 and 45, what stood out to me was his charge that the whole conflict started based on pressure from America's ally Israel and its powerful American lobby. Now, the ramifications here suggest that all parties involved were well aware, way before this conflict even began, that Iran did not possess any weapons of mass destruction. The same proverbial drum the Republicans have been beating since 2002 when the U.S. invaded Iraq under baby Bush. Ergo, the Iranians posed no imminent threat to Israel. The only threat they posed, by what I'm understanding, was to elitist greed and, of course, Netanyahu's stupid little bomb graph. Enter stage right, Senior Nero Trump summed Kent's resignation up by saying he was weak on security. Meanwhile, the quote-unquote critics accused him of anti-Semitic tropes in his explanation of a war he saw no reason in pursuing. Back at the ranch, what's not being highlighted is Kent's military record. 20 plus years veteran in special forces, paramilitary officer in the CIA. Does not sound like someone who is weak when it comes to national security, if you ask me, but what do I know? Let's close out with this. Psalm 64 and 8. We'll start at the second verse. Psalms 64 and 2, the 8th verse is the point. But we're going to start at the second verse, give some context here and lay the foundation for what we see playing out now in prophecy. Because it says this: hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Again, speaking to the international bankers, who are the wicked hands the earth is given into. Job 9 and 24. Malachi 1 and 4 are the precepts there. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Insurrection meaning rage, what the Bible calls a tumultuous crowd, an excited and disorderly gathering. Okay, a good example of that is your current American government and their lobbyists who are clearly agents of disorder. The iniquity is the lies they've told and the lives they've spent to facilitate a war based on greed, total control, and distracting the public from the perverted acts of those who propose they are the most fit to rule over you, namely those that sit in Senate and Congress. Insurrection means to cut from within. So this war is being waged at the expense of the global citizen, never mind the so-called American people, who whet meaning to sharpen, their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Now, according to reports, it was Trump that initiated Operation Epic Fury, aka Epic Fail, because of the pressure his administration was receiving from Israeli leadership, namely Bibi Yehudi, to end the U.S.'s diplomatic negotiations. Mind you, Trump did all this without consent from Congress. And how did they sharpen their tongues? By saying the actions were to eliminate, you guessed it, imminent threats. I mean, what else can you say here? Psalm 64 and 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, speaking to their not so covert operation. And I'm saying not so covert because I suspect the main issue is the preservation of the petrodollar, as I pointed out in my last video. This War not only affects Iranians and Middle Easterners. Everybody in the world, to some extent, is suffering or feeling the pinch from the sanctions being imposed on the other nations, and not to mention the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Gas and oil prices notwithstanding. Ultimately, what becomes of this war is more bullshit laws in the name of safety and national security, and a digital economic system that the elite hope to use to control you and I. Okay. At the top of the menu is we hopefully elect men and women of Israel, of properly Yashur Allah, the true children of the Most High. Okay. Suddenly, do they shoot at him? And Trump wasted no time in kicking off this war. And fear not, nor does he seem to be worried about the repercussions. Not more worried than you figuring out this whole operation was to distract you from the files they're trying ever so hard not to release, and the fact that America's economy is through. Venezuela to Iran, they need the cash injection. Okay, and the most important thing you need to fight a war is with what? Plata, with the dinero. Show me the money, okay? This whole war, it's honestly, it's just a sham, but here we are in the midst of it, taking place, and prophecy is coming to pass. What's not a sham is this truth coming out, and Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai returning to recompense the enemy and give salvation and deliverance to the hopeful elect. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily, meaning they, in conspiring against us, have concealed their efforts and the measures they've taken to institute their New World Order system of total control. Say that 5 times fast. Not so easily detected. Okay, and at least not to the untrained eye. Those who have eyes to see, they can see it, and those who have ears to hear, they hear it loud and clear. Okay, they say, "Who shall see them?" They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, but the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Pretty sure this whole assault on Iran was generated in some government think tank. Okay, the whole in every crisis, there's an opportunity thing, if you will. While we're being distracted by the corporate news and media, they're devising better ways to lie to us and tell us not to worry, we're safe. How are we safe when the real terrorist is the American government and her allies? I don't know. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And oh, what an ass whooping the U.S. and Israel are receiving at the hands of the IRGC. And now that Hamas and Hezbollah have officially lent boots to the ground, it's only going to get worse here. The arrows speak to the onslaught of missiles hammering the U.S. and Israel military as we speak. So they shall make their own tongue, and here's the point, and so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Bringing us right back to the opening clip. What's worse than a Freudian slip? A whistleblow, of course. And what we need to think about is what Joe Kent didn't make a matter of public record in his resignation. Now, in any event, Trump is now petitioning every other nation in the circumference of his voice to go to bat in removing Iran's chokehold of the Strait of Hormuz. I see 0 takers there. All that see them shall flee away. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Through the power and spirit, I hope you are edified. Double honors unto the elder apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who teach us 100% truth and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Remember, no test, no yab, and damn sure. Don't take that C to the H, to the I, to the P. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharallah. Shabbat Shalom to the elect. Wa Abad Babal.